Good morning and welcome to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. This program is for information purposes only. If you need legal advice, you can contact me, Antoinette Osborne, at 718-502-9137. That's 718-502-9137. The office focuses on divorce, immigration, bankruptcy, real estate, and estate matters. We also do eviction proceedings. There is a second office in Jamaica, West Indies that focuses on legal representation if you are seeking to buy or sell property in Jamaica, or if you are looking to wrap up an estate. If you have a question this morning, you can call in at 718-502-9137, or you can text your question. I will see it at 718-502-9137, or you can pose your question in the live. So happy new year, everyone. I have not had a live in 2 weeks. I missed you. I hope everyone is doing well, and thank God we were able to make it into the new year. Not everyone has made it into the new year, but we are eternally grateful for life. I hope everyone is having a blessed morning. So good morning, June, Sandy, Amarildo, Joan. Let's see here, Dottie, and yes, I think that's it. Pauline and Michelle. All right, so this morning I wanted to focus on the documents as immigrants that we are given when either we are looking to travel, what documents can be used for traveling, whether or not you have a pending application, or if you are a green card holder, or even a green card meaning whether you are a permanent resident card holder or you are a conditional resident card holder. What are the documents that you can use to travel? So your green card, if you are a green card holder, this is evidence of your legal authorization to work in the United States. It also is your authority to live legally in the United States, and it causes you to be able to travel once it has not expired. So that document is your authorization to live, work, and travel. All right. So for those of you who are green card holder, your status really ends only if your card has expired, and I'm referring to your permanent resident card, which is different from your lawful conditional resident card. The conditional card is 2 years, and that card is given for those who have applied for residency based on marriage or as an investor. So if you have the LPR, which is the green card, the 10-year card, right? You would only lose this card if, God forbid, it's rescinded by the United States government, or if your status is terminated, yeah, in immigration court, or some people go ahead and they abandon their card, whether at a port of entry. You have some people where they have migrated to the United States. They have decided that this is not really where they want to be, and they want to go back home. So I have had a client who gave up the green card, and having given up the green card and returned to Jamaica, it did not work out for him. So the parent had to refile for him. So when you give up this card, if it is that you decide that you're going to change your mind, someone has to file for you. Or if your status is terminated, then yes, someone has to file from you. So for the people who are coming from outside of the United States, these are your relatives who are interviewing at the embassy. What they will find is that they get a stamp in their passport, right? So this passport stamp is not a green card. And this is where I want to emphasize, until they are let in by CBP, that is, until they enter the country and they are admitted by CBP, they are not a green card holder for people who are coming outside of the country. So I don't want them to think once they get the stamp, they are a green card holder. You still can be prevented from coming into the country. You have to go to that interview, right? Having come to the airport and you've spoken to a CBP officer and they've cleared you and you are admitted, that is when you are a green card holder. So for people who like to hype, when that stamp comes in your passport, don't start hype yet. Yeah, you have to come in, you have to be admitted by a CBP officer, cleared. And that is when your status as a green card holder begins. And for those of you who are green card holders, legally, you are actually required to walk with the green card. It is actually a crime if you're 18 years or older and you're not walking with the green card. My concern for people is this: you walk with a green card and you lose it. So now you are spending $540 to get a replacement. So for those of you who are actually walking with a card, I am going to encourage you, make sure that you have that card on you at all times. You lose it, it is a $540 fee for those of you who have. And you know what's funny? Or I should say strange. If you have committed a crime that makes you deportable, what I have found is if you are renewing the card, yeah, they will actually renew the card. But if you file for your citizenship, then the problem is now you end up in deportation proceedings. Don't ask me how, but that happens. Yeah. So that is why oftentimes, and I'm not saying that it is a guarantee if you actually renew the card that you won't end up in removal proceedings if you have committed a crime that actually makes you deportable. But I'm going to encourage you, walk with a card, because it's actually a crime when you are not walking with your green card. As long as you're 18 and you are a green card holder, you're required to walk with this card. Now, for those of you who are applying for naturalization, the requirement that you walk with a card does not change. You are actually still required to walk with the green card, even though you have applied to become a citizen. Now, for people who are in deportation, you are actually able to get proof that you are still a green card holder until, of course, your status is terminated. So, yes, you can get proof. It depends on the officer whether or not they're going to actually issue back a card or just provide some sort of receipt notice so that you can, in fact, get proof that you are an actual card holder. So hold on a second. So instead, hold on one second. I just want to make sure I am seeing the lives. All right. So, in terms of your questions, do not forget to like the live and also share it and subscribe. So, yes, we are having a late start this morning. Please accept my apologies. But for those of you who are in removal proceedings, you are in deportation, you can actually get proof of your lawful permanent resident status. Now, if it is that you have been ordered deported, you're not going to get it. But during the proceedings, it is at the discretion of the officer whether they or not they are going to actually permit the issuance of the card, or whether or not they are going to just issue the receipt. So if you have a friend who is in removal proceedings and they actually are a lawful permanent resident, but they have no proof of it, they can actually apply to receive it as long as they have not been ordered deported, right? So they will get the card or a receipt notice, depending, of course, on what the officer who has your application, what having reviewed your file, whether or not he decides he's going to give you the card, or if he is going to in fact decide he's going to give you a receipt instead. Yeah. Now, for the conditional permanent resident holder, your status is for 2 years. That's it, right? The burden is on you to apply to remove the conditions. For those of you who you fail to do this, I am going to encourage you that generally there was a memo that says if USCIS has not received this application within 90 days of the expiration, then ICE was supposed to put people in removal proceedings. Do they do this all the time? No, but some people have been placed in removal. So you never know the luck of the draw. So I'm going to encourage you, unless, of course, you have moved on with someone else, your conditional permanent resident card has ended and you've decided to get remarried and your spouse files for you, because the conditional permanent resident status has to end. You can't, whilst a conditional permanent resident holder, decide that you are going to file for a new green card through somebody else. That's not going to work, right? So it's either your status has terminated or your card has ended and you decide that you're not going to apply to remove the conditions, you've married someone else, you are therefore going to reapply. You have to ensure that the date on your 2-year card has passed. So important. I don't want you to think that whilst you are a conditional permanent resident, that you can go and marry someone else during its validity and think that the new person is going to actually be able to adjust you. It naga work. All right. So for those of you who are just tuning in, don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to share the live. This program is to provide, I believe, valuable information to our community. It is here to keep them informed concerning whether it's immigration or I'm focusing on landlord or tenant. It doesn't matter. The purpose is so you can be informed, so you can make decisions based on information that you receive here. All right. So for those of you who you have lost your card, I am going to encourage you to report it, because if that card ends up in the wrong hands and they take certain action with it, you have not reported it, then you may be deemed to be acting in collaboration with these people. If you've lost your card, I'm gonna say to protect yourself, go and report it. You keep that police report in the event anyone wants to point fingers on you. Yeah. So if it is that you have lost the card, then I am going to encourage you, apply for a replacement card. If it is that you are in fact eligible for citizenship, you don't have to actually have that replaced green card in your hand to apply for citizenship. You can actually, even if your card is lost, but the time period in terms of eligibility to apply for citizenship you have, go ahead and apply for the citizenship. The concern for you is if you need to travel, you don't have any ability without that card. Oftentimes, you're going to have to apply for a replacement green card. You get the receipt notice, you call USCIS, so what is called an aided stamp. And with that aided stamp, it is proof of your lawful permanent residency. You can show it to your employer. You can use it to travel if you've lost your green card, right? Or the green card is expired. So you really can't travel with it. Anyone who is looking to come into the country, when you go to the airport and you are checking in, they need proof that you have the ability to enter the United States legally. So if the card is expired, you're not going to check it in for the flight. You're going to have to apply for a re-entry permit where you apply through the embassy and they give you the necessary documentation that you can travel. So when you're traveling, I want you to look at the expiration dates on your green cards, or if you have that aided stamp, look to see until when that stamp is actually valid. We don't want people traveling on expired documents and you have to be running back and forth to the embassy. I had a client who went out there and then she had to go to the office in Jamaica in order to rectify her ability to come back to the United States. So I want to, encourage you, before you travel, look at the expiration. If you traveling on a US passport, I want you to in fact look at the expiration date of your passport. If it is a Jamaican passport or any foreign passport, same thing. Look at the expiration date of your passport. Look at the expiration date of your green card. If you have an aided stamp, look at the expiration on the stamp. If it is that you have a travel document, you need to look at the expiration. Yeah. These are documents that carry expiration dates. It is not valid into perpetuity. And I'll tell you this. So those of you who are traveling on the green card without an expiration date, sometimes CBP will take that document from you, because I believe it was 1989 they changed that green card that didn't have an expiration date to a card that actually has an expiration date. So for those of you who are traveling on these cards without expiration date, you run the risk that when you're entering the country, the CBP officer can take it from you and tell you go and apply for the card with an expiration date. Very important. So for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome. You can actually ask your question in the live. You can call in and ask your question. And if you do call in, the number to call in is 718-502-9137. You can also ask your question in the live. If I am not able to see, Nicola will bring it to my attention. Nicola is here with us this morning. She is in fact the moderator, right? So for those of you, your cards are mutilated, meaning that it destroy, it not good, it tear up. I'm going to encourage you, apply for a replacement card. If the card, Morning Melanie, she's listening in from Mount Vernon. If the card is such that it is expired, it's stolen, it's lost, go ahead and, in fact, apply for a replacement card. You can also apply to replace the card if it is that your name changed during this process. Some people got married, they want to change the card to their new married name. I'm going to encourage you, apply for a replacement card. There's something I want to touch on. People are under, especially for marriage based cases, people are in fact under the impression that you have to change your name to your husband's name. That, in fact, is not a reality. People have a lot of like, when I got married, I'm divorced now, but when I got married, I actually did not change my name. I carried my maiden name, Osborne. Reason being, my certificates, all of my certificate them in the Osborne name. You understand? I mean, I no whole heap of long talking, long explanation. I too much change over Rasta. You have a change over license. You have a no, sir. Couldn't bother. So I kept my maiden name. Anyway, I want to talk about something which I find to be very serious. I think, and this is where I'm telling all the time, keep friend with your male person, yeah. But what is in reality, what is happening now is, for some people, their appointment notice for their biometrics are coming in the day after the date when you're supposed to do your fingerprinting, which is annoying. Some offices, if you rush there, they will actually, in fact, take you in, right? If it is that they have refused, you have to run and call immigration to actually reschedule the date. Some representatives are, in fact, aware that the notices are coming in after the date. And when you fail to go to this appointment, your application can be treated as abandoned, and then it gets denied. So all of your money wastes. That makes sense? For those of you who are doing an adjustment of status, that's $1,760. Nobody. I don't know, unless you're rich, yeah? Because some people are on different lifestyles. Unless you're rich and I really care about them money there. But 1,760 when you work hard for your money, worse if you're at a job and you eat the job, yeah? And you really put your money down and then it just blow up like that. No, I'm gonna encourage anyone with an immigration filing, go ahead and, in fact, create a USCIS account for your case, so that when they send out any notices, you can, in fact, be apprised of it, and you can do whatever requisite directives it gives you to do. You're able to do this. So I am, in fact, going to encourage you, if you have an application with immigration, go ahead and create an account. For those of you who missed your appointment, call the customer service number immediately, and they give you on that notice directives to actually reschedule your biometric notice. I am going to encourage you, follow the directions so that you can reschedule your appointment. Yeah. You fail to attend to the fingerprint notice, then unfortunately, the case can get denied for abandonment. And here it is, you sending in forms, sending over fees. Nobody have that time for that, Jaja. All right. So if it is that you have applied to, in fact, replace a lost green card, or your green card has expired, you get a receipt notice, which actually you need to read these receipt notices. Don't just assume certain things are on the notice. I'm going to encourage you, read the notice, look at the extension that you're given. For those of you where your cards are expired, this receipt notice actually provides you with an extension of your card. So the duration, it is extended. All right, so Amarilda says, how often can a landlord raise his rent and by how much if you don't sign a lease? I'll tell you this. If it is that you are looking to raise your rent more than 5%, you are supposed to give your tenant notice. If you are in a unregulated building, such as, a one family, a two family, a three family, four, five, you can go market value. But the problem is you have to, once you're raising more than 5%, you have to give your tenants notice. If you are not in a lease and the tenant doesn't want to pay your rent, you can look to, start eviction proceedings against them. But I'm going to tell you this, we are in serious times, right? And I don't know anyone's experience, but I can tell you when I am driving past food pantries, and I don't know if, and this is something I've been saying for over a year now, I don't know if anyone else is not seeing this. The lines, the lines at the food pantry, they're getting longer. And I know close to my office, there is a pantry where it's run by some Muslims, right? And initially, when I was driving, it appeared to be mainly people who are of the Muslim faith that were in the line. And the other day, I was walking past it. I saw every ethnicity there. I saw black, I saw Spanish, I saw Chinese or Asians. I saw a lot of different people in that line for food. Now, when it is that you cannot afford a basic item such as food, these are signs of the time. Once upon a time, people used to scam the pantry, call them a pop barrel. They are sending the food to their home country. Right now, may I tell you, let's get serious. That food now is being used here. So I want to encourage landlords, and the reason I diverted to this is I want to encourage landlords. I want you to exercise your discretion. I know things are going up. I know your heating bill going up, your taxes, your insurance, and I'm hoping you're in a fixed rate mortgage, so at least the principal and the interest remains the same. But I want you also to exercise your discretion. Things are not rising for you alone, it's also rising for your tenant. And what you'll find is for people who sometimes charge these exorbitant rent, you may find a tenant who comes in and they present themselves like they have the funds to do this. If one of them loses their job, they may not be able to afford that rent. So I think for anyone who is taking in a tenant in your property, you have to, or you, I think it's a risk analysis. You are looking at their income. I would want to know how long they have been at their job, because oftentimes if any cutbacks, any layoffs are happening, last one in is usually the first one out. You keep your people who have been there with you for some time. Yeah, it's a risk analysis, that you have to do when you are taking in any tenants. And tenants, if it is that you are going to be facing a hardship, I am seriously hoping that you have a good relationship with your landlord so that you can make an arrangement. This is New York City. Places are hard to find, and the cost of rent is crazy. So, Morning Dawn, Amarilla says some tenants are evil. Insurance and taxes went up by 500. And I'm not sure if Amarilla is meaning if he's in the city, 500 per quarter, or, probably out in the suburbs, 500 for the year. Things are expensive, and we have to be realistic. You have some landlords where back in the day when things weren't going up that much, they didn't raise the rent. We are not in those times. Yeah. And I think people have lost the concept that one of the things that you have to do is the first thing you have to do is to protect the roof over your head. I think people have lost their way in that, and you just do whatever you want. Me personally, me can do without light. Me light a candle, except at my office, come I have to do the people them work. Me's a very simple person. Yeah? Me use the candle and me use the kerosene oil. Yeah, probably light gone, or probably the light bill not pay. Either way, you don't have no light. Worse during Hurricane Gilbert, we never have light. So for those of us who have experienced that, we're used to candle and kerosene oil. This is like nothing that's really new to us. Cable, go read a book. You don't have to have cable. Go read a book. Kind of people now read. Go pick up a book, go out into the sunlight, go to the park, go read a book. Yeah? Especially what is going on cable. I don't know if me personally, I'm going to watch TV no more. Yeah? Me live a certain lifestyle, Rasta. That lifestyle, when I find a nuclear family is no longer on TV, that's where me come from, that's where me know. Yeah? I'm not here to judge anybody, but if every time I watch TV, a certain lifestyle just a push down my throat, my unruly. So guess what? I'ma just stop when I watch it. So I go up on YouTube and me watch me like a movie. Me can choose, yeah. Or if it is me see that me have to jump to another movie. Me live a certain lifestyle, judge. I mean, I don't want nobody try push nothing down my throat. My unruly like that. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm a real them open me answer your question. Yeah, some of the tenant them really terrible. Yeah, and that is why. And I'll tell any landlord, if they're coming to rent your place, use reason. Yeah, don't be dumb. Someone is coming to rent your place in desperation. Watch it. Them I forget the place. Somebody will kick them out. Yeah, man, them will get pushed out. And the question is, why is it that they are getting pushed out? Yeah. I've had some clients that have had tenants where I have specifically advised them from evicting the tenant. Yeah. And the reason being, you have a tenant that's keeping a place clean. Yeah. They are paying their rent on time. Sometimes you're on a person going to have cas. That should not be your controlling factor. As long as it disrespect now reach a certain level. You can't like everybody. What? Some people on this live now probably can't even stand me. You can't like everybody. And that is just life. Yeah? But that not gonna stop me from live. Yeah? More want to understand what go on in a landlord and tenant court. Last year, may I refer to Brooklyn now, because sometimes we can't even keep the dates. But what stood out in my mind, I filed an eviction case in Brooklyn. You want to know the date? You want to know the first date to appear? It's in April. Yeah? This is what is happening in the court system. And whilst your case is pending, collect rent what? The tenant are going to look for dismiss the case. You got to collect the rent. You got to renew the tenancy. Unless you get an order from the court that you can accept without prejudice. Careful what you do. It's serious. Yeah? So Dawn says, Insurance is almost 13,000. You mean 1,300 or 13,000? I have a tenant who had over 20 people in the apartment. No, sir. The other day, plus 7 other people inside. What do you do? No, sir, you need to evict this a person. What is? Are you gonna make the city come down upon you? This? Yeah? No, sir. So much people in one apartment? No. Morning sunshine. You need to evict them. It don't make sense. You need to evict the people them. I want to go on here, sir. Tenants. That makes absolute, and we're immigrants here. Yeah. Sometimes you have your people them who coming from home to visit. Okay. Your landlord pay for water. Yeah. Heat. And you know, it's not like a little 2 weeks. They are actually coming to spend. You know, so you know the life of an immigrant. We're not forgetting of that. Probably they must spend like a 3 month, a 4 month, a 5 month. As a courtesy, talk to the landlord and say, look, this is the situation. And I know it's going to cost a little more in like utilities, you know. I'd like to offer you X whilst they're there. When I raise the rent, I when I agree to the rent increase. But whilst the people, me no know, me's a different girl. Yeah. I come from poor people, so I exercise my conscience. So me know you have bills. Me know about certain life. Anybody know me? Yeah? Me know about certain life. Me know certain life. Don't come to me with certain life. That is why certain things when me see them a push back. Certain life me no know. Don't ask about it. Me think you fi exercise your conscience. But people are from the village. They are country people where they are very principled people. That's the background me come from. And you take every man with them background. Yeah. You see this unconscionable sort of life. Me don't know about it. Yeah. I mean, I keep them friend them. Me too cross. Yeah. So I think if this is the case, you can exercise the conscience. Yeah. Don, me don't know what kind of building you insure. Yeah. $13,000. You share on 1,300. All right. So Sandy is saying, my friend traveled on her unexpired green card until 2022 when it was taken away from her on her return back to New York. She had no intention to turn it in. I'm not sure why it was taken away. I don't know. Yeah, and that's not a good sign if they are taking away your green card. Yeah, so oftentimes this could mean that they're looking to do a notice to appear in immigration court. I don't know. I don't know why it was taken away, but for them to take away your green card, that's not a good sign. All right. Now, for those of you with your I-90 receipt notices, I want you to review it. I need you to look at the time that it actually, the receipt notice extends your green card to, if it is that it is still processing. For some strange reason, the timing on this application, I can't really say how long specifically. I've had clients who have put in to renew their card and it has taken a month. And I've had clients who put in to renew their card and it's taken 2 years. Let me tell you already, I have a client, she done me, man. Yeah, man. Worse. Me are the worst somebody. Yes, since Satan. Because she put in for the renewal and she can't get it. Yes, until when the woman get the card, she never even tell me. But it is what it is. I have no control. Everything is subject to their investigation. You're subject to the backlogs. Me can't tell you. Yeah, worse. Me are the worst somebody fear. Yeah. Okay, so Dawn is saying it's right. Okay, this makes sense now. Dawn said her taxes is 13,000. Dawn, you look like you live in the suburbs. Yeah. Hi, Rosemary. Good morning, my darling. All right, so why you really need your green card? What does it show proof of? Yeah. Why you need this extension if your card expires? Some employers afraid like post car, not like when them people are radio. Yeah, man, them come down upon you like a ark, man. Yeah. So them have to show that you're up to the time, you're up to date, your documents are in fact good, right? So they need you to get that extension just in case somebody run down upon them, kind of know it go. Them run down upon you, you have to have your documents. So their HR department is gonna reach out, ask you, provide proof that you still have the legal ability to work. So, all right. So I started late. I'm gonna just go a little past 10 o'clock. Thank you for those who had the patience enough to wait. And thanks, Sunshine, for reminding them. Don't forget to share and click the like button. And Nicola is also telling you as well. All right. You need, when your card expire, if you're not looking to apply for your citizenship, I'm going to encourage you, go ahead and renew your green card. Yeah. Especially certain government agencies, they want to see proof of this. Don't wait till the last minute. Island people will like to take with time, do things, and you can't really force us. We are on our own time. I remember one time it was me and I was partnered up with this American guy in class, and he says, Antoinette, he says, Antoinette, we're supposed to meet at 2 p.m., right? Are you going to come 2 p.m. American time, or are you going to come 2 p.m. Jamaican time? Lord Jesus. No, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're not like, we're unruly. Yeah. We're not really time. Mm-mm. Except for country Brooklyn. Wow. 13,000. No, sir. City getting serious, yeah? All right. If your green card expired, go and renew it because it provides proof of evidence of your permanent resident status, your ability to work, your ability to travel. Now, I want you to watch your expiration on the green card and also the receipt notice that is actually issued once you look to renew the card. Reason being, some are gonna take long for the things. Yeah, we know that. You take long for the things. So as a result of which, the green card, the green card expired 10 years ago. Yeah, man, remember man coming out the office. Man, simple your fat. The man come here, Antoinette, I want you to renew my card. All right, so me, I think the card probably expire. Probably a few months. It's a card that must expire 15 years ago. Sir, what are we doing good? Are you not good? Sir, Lord man, Antoinette, just put in the application. No, sir. Someone sit down on the card. Yeah. And I think the reason he was renewing was I think he had to travel. So, because some people, them have the card, they're not going away. Because sometimes when you travel back home, everybody hand long out. You don't have it. My girlfriend said, Antoinette, me as I long out there and me long out my hand too. Yeah, you don't have it. So some people don't bother travel, them can't take the foolishness. I've had people who have sent monies to their relatives, even their children, to buy property, or as my girlfriend said, she has a friend where the man was sending monies for build him house. No, sir. And this is where tears will come on your eye, and this is where you end up in a criminal court, right? Every minute the niece a call. Uncle, we doing the top floor now. We're doing the top floor. Uncle, we need money to fix the roof. Uncle, we need money for buy the windows. Uncle, we have to pay the electrician. When the man finally, all I like savings. When the man finally know, go down. Jesus. Remember them I go upstairs and everything. Foundation. That's it. So, where all the money? Let's get real. Where is all the money that I sent to you? Now, man, you gotta say, no, oh, and me, you gotta see, JBC or TVG, however they call it, and me, you gotta see. Amarilda says, correction, my mortgage payment went up by $500 a month. And I think, Amarilda, that's because your escrow went up. Probably your taxes and your insurance increased. Because I'm hoping to God you're not in an adjustable rate mortgage. Yeah, man, that's the killer. And let me tell you something. For those of you who are, in fact, buying property in Jamaica, this I could not believe. My client came in and he said, Antoinette, I don't understand what's going on. Last year, I paid $1,300 for my mortgage. This year, and this is in Jamaica, the island. This year, I'm paying $1,600. What? That makes no sense to me. So I said, all right, give me a mortgage document. And of course, you can't pull that up. So how is it that you usually communicate with the mortgage company via email? Okay, that's fine. Give me a phone, let me go in your email. And I'm only looking for the mortgage. Me not go in your email for look if your wife or your side girl I'd message you. Me not care about that. That's none of my business. Anyway, when we jump in at the email now, and me I forgot way back to when he was in fact applying. And me telling you this is Jamaica, the island. I went way back for when he was applying for the mortgage, because it came to mind that is he in an adjustable rate mortgage? I'm not really used to Jamaica doing adjustable rate mortgages. So let's kind of take a look. This man in Jamaica, the island, was in an adjustable rate mortgage. And I had to say to him, sir, didn't you realize that when you were taking out this mortgage, they were giving you an adjustable rate mortgage? This is not a fixed mortgage. And anyone who is in an adjustable rate mortgage, yeah, this is not the time to be in an ARM, the acronym for an adjustable rate mortgage, where the mortgage rates they're changing like a woman who just find out say she get born. It the thing mad. Are you mad, fam? No, sir. This is crazy. Yeah? This is really not the time for this. And in 1 year, because when you buy investment property, and I had to say to him, look, you have to get real now. You can't have this house empty. Yeah? Let's get real. You're staying here to pay on a mortgage overseas. You also have your mortgage here, unless you buy cash. And in reality, your income here must sustain your mortgage and a mortgage your assessor now. You have to go rent the place. Whether you go Airbnb it, whether you go rent it out. But when you see things like this happening and you're in an adjustable rate mortgage, There is no way you can keep that place empty, right? I don't care if you bought it for your little nest egg. No, right now it have to produce. Yeah, it's like your kids in the house not working and they're grown folks. What? You grown? I'm supposed to feed you? Oh, I guess somebody never tell you who your mama is. All right, so yeah, it is what it is. All right, now let's look at hmm. I want people to start reading the notices from immigration. If you get an advanced parole document, I want you to read it. If you get an extension of your green card because you've applied to replace, renew, look at the verbiage so you can see the length of your extension, right? Sometimes, if it is like my client whose card was expired about 15 years now, he's going to get that receipt notice that says that his permanent resident card is extended for 24 months. If the card has expired 15 years ago, even with the extension, he's still expired. So he had to actually go and get what is called an aided stamp. So if when you're adding your extension to your expired card and you're still expired, yeah? Like some of your spouses are in your homes and they're expired. They don't know yet, and it's expired. Call USCIS and get an aided stamp. Yeah, that's what I am going to encourage you all to do. All right. I think I saw, and let me see this. Okay. Now, let me one moment. Because okay, so someone texted, "Hi, Miss Osborne, Happy New Year. I have my, what is this? My aunt next to me listening to your program. Don't want her to keep listening to village lawyers. Her health is deteriorating. She wants to file for our cousin to take care of her. Is this possible?" So, is it that your aunt is looking to file for her child? Yeah, that is possible once it is her child. Family filings are limited to your children. It is limited to your spouse. It's limited to your siblings, depending on your status. And it's also limited to your parents, depending on your status, because green card holders cannot file for siblings, they cannot file for married children, and they can't file for parents. So don't waste your time and effort if that is the case. So I'm going to wrap up with advanced parole. I have taken enough of your time. We want to just quickly look at advanced parole. And in terms of advanced parole, bear with me one second. I think someone just texted, and let me get to it because I'm going to be ending shortly. Okay, so no. All right. Oh, the person says not her child. I mean, the only thing she could do is look to see if she could get her on an employment visa. Yeah, she has to have the funds in order to do this, to show that she can actually pay that child, right? All right. Re-entry permits. If it is that you are a green card holder and you wish to be outside of the country for more than a year, you are required to apply for a re-entry permit, right? The maximum time they will give you on this re-entry permit is 2 years. I think you can keep applying for a re-entry permit, but after like year 5, it's not gonna happen for you. If you're applying for a re-entry permit, you can ask that it be picked up at the embassy, but you have to wait here to do your fingerprints before you actually leave. All right. Advanced parole. For those of you who you have your pending adjustment applications, right? Or probably have TPS, or you have deferred action, and in fact, you wish to travel, you can apply for advance parole. Now, what I want to tell you with advance parole is you need to get a determination on this advance parole before you actually travel, right? If a determination has not been made and you go ahead and you travel without permission, for example, let's say you're doing your adjustment application. If the advance parole has not been approved and you travel, you have therefore abandoned your application for advance parole and you have abandoned your adjustment of status application. So what you don't have the ability to get back in. It makes no sense. And one of the things is if you've accrued unlawful presence, dependent on the length of time. If you accrued unlawful presence more than 180 days, you are going to be barred for 3 years. And if you've accrued unlawful presence for 1 year or more, you're going to be barred for 10 years. So I want you just to be very careful. You have these applications, you want to travel, consult an attorney. If it is that you are in removal proceedings, there's no way you should be traveling. Yeah? You are going to be executing an order of deportation. Don't do it. Yeah? And this is something I tell all my clients in removal. Yeah? Don't travel. Yeah? Let's get your case approved and terminated. Okay. All right. So, how you get the advance parole? Advance parole you get where you have an urgent humanitarian need. So probably somebody's sick back home, right? Or you probably have a death or someone getting married, things like this. These are urgent humanitarian need. You may have also business to take care of. Probably you're involved in a court case and you need to travel. Things like this. Yeah. In terms of to get back in, everything is at the discretion of CBP letting you back in. And any of my clients who get advance parole, I specifically let them know you are at the discretion of CBP as to whether or not they are in fact going to allow you back into the country. So if it is that you are looking for permission to travel and you have a pending application, you have to apply for advance parole. You can't just take up yourself and travel. That makes absolutely no sense. What some people who have done with the advance parole is if prior to this they had no proof of entry, then they in fact use that parole document having been let in, that admission as a parolee, to now adjust their status. All right. So thank you for joining us this morning. I am not going to take up much of your time. I want to wish everyone once again a happy and blessed and a safe, not to mention prosperous in these harsh economic times, New Year. It's Sunday, spend some time with your family. I want you to be blessed, remain blessed, stay blessed, live good with people. Enjoy your Sunday.